We need to create the kind of society we want to see. So we have, this is the fact, John, the society's been beholden by small, nasty, petty people. I don't speak much about it, but they literally ran me out of my job. They physically surrounded me twice in Portland and told me they were going to kill me. I can't prove they were Antifa. They didn't have the garb on. They were unmasked twice. Once they cornered me and they told me they were going to kill me. Literally, and so that was like the final thing. That and my $5,000 tax bill that I got. But my point is that we have been dealing with some very nasty people, and the way to respond to those nasty people is not by being nasty or crazy. The way to respond to those people, and I mean, you think I'm sounding like a Christian, is just say, listen, mistakes were made. Or when Malcolm Gladwell comes out and he says he made a mistake, hey man, thanks for saying that. I appreciate you did that. Let's move on now. Or when someone, so the way to respond to the people who have been truly relentless at harassing the fucking shit out of me for years, literally filing false allegations against me, weaponizing the system, almost trapping me behind a dumpster and telling me they're going to literally kill me and cut me up. The way to deal with those people is not to take a flamethrower to them. To take a flamethrower to our institutions, that's a very good thing, but not to individuals and not to violence. The way to deal with these people so that they see the model that they have, so they have something to aspire to, is to forgive them and tell them everything's fine. You know, mistakes were made. You know, it's interesting. I just want to say, since I'm thinking about this, now that these universities are starting to slash their DEI programs, you know how you know they're not serious? Besides the fact that they keep people in, the same people, and they move them around and change their titles. You know how they're not serious?
Yeah.
You know why? I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't take these people seriously. They're pathological liars. Because if they were serious, they would say the following. Look, we made a mistake. We were beholden to a dangerous ideology and orthodoxy. We're sorry. We're going to do every single thing in our future to make sure this does not happen again. Here are some things that we're going to do. You don't even have to say we're going to do. We made a mistake. We're sorry. I suppose if they say we hurt people, that would open them up to lawsuits. But we made a mistake. We latched ourselves onto a moral fashion. Have you heard a single institution do that? No, they have not done that. You haven't heard corporations do that. You haven't heard. Nobody has done that. Nobody can admit they've made a mistake and they were hoodwinked by a deranged ideology, particularly because, in all fairness, it was so insane and so stupid that it is a moral embarrassment to admit at any stage that you admitted that you believed any of it and that you actively worked to make the lives of people miserable who ask you simple questions about the ideology. Just questions, not even challenges, questions. So the way to deal with these people on an institutional level is to defund all of them. And well, then they can make their parallel institutions, they can make their DEI, they can sit in a basement and write all they want about white people and gassing white people and killing Jews. Great. You do that. You don't get a dime of federal money. And that's the way to deal with the institutions. And then the way to deal with the people is to forgive them and move forward.
I couldn't possibly agree more with the program that you just described. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's right. I can't know it. It seems
okay,
right.
I can't know. I hope I don't know it. But here's the rub. There is such a rot and a corrosion among the left from identity politics that anybody who points out obvious facts about the world or hypothesizes about the world is all of a sudden on the right. Everybody is on the right. Everybody's on the right. Everybody to these people is on the right. So how do we deal with broken minds, broken people, broken institutions, massive deficits, people not having conversations with each other, people who are gleeful at murder, AI that has threatening careers and jobs, particularly of young people, geopolitical instability with Ukraine. I mean, we have so many problems right now. I do not think those problems, with the possible exception of the debt, I do not think any of those problems are insurmountable. But what I do think is we are going to have, and when I say we, I'm very specifically talking about the people on the left. those people are going to have to be willing to come to the table, or they are going to really realize, not on an individual basis in terms of a lone gunman, but they're going to realize what it looks like to be a society that's in deep, deep trouble.
Well,
they're going to realize, yeah, go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
No, go ahead.
What you laid out reminds me of something that is like a slightly hyperbolic thought, but that I want to put forward to be taken seriously and maybe beaten down. Has the left, and by the left I mean those who believe in revolutionary change as the path to a better world. That would be my trying to create a definition that's neutral, or even that's a steelman definition. If you're on the left, you believe in revolutionary change towards a better world, what you think is going to be a better world. Are we at a point in the evolution of our society where the left, as it currently exists in all of its forms, by and large, serves no healthy purpose? And an analogy I think is useful here in this case is this. As I understand it, there's been work done. Autoimmune diseases are this weird thing that we don't fully understand. It's like this whole category that's always like, well, it's your body's attacking itself. We don't exactly know why. It's environmental, it's genetic, we don't know why. One antidote to a bunch of autoimmune diseases has turned out to be the reintroduction of worms into the body. Johns Hopkins has done work on this.
Yeah. Especially now, Crohn's disease.
Yeah. Crohn's, alopecia, allergies, a whole bunch of stuff. In fact, and there's been studies of regions like Sardinia that was late to deworm, and they don't have the
cleanliness hypothesis. Yeah.
And so the premise there, biologically, as I understand it, is that we co-evolved with these parasitic elements in our body, and that our immune system response is used to having them there, and is attenuated to fighting them and keeping them at bay. And now that they're gone, now that we live in a clean world, you have this overactive shock troop force that's just like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I guess I'll attack your kidneys. I guess you'll attack your lymph system. And is that the left? Is the left an autoimmune disease from a prior time? Are there no more good revolutions to fight?
So those are two different questions. The first question is, if I remember correctly, what is it good for? Is it good for anything anymore?
Yeah.
And I would say, if you qualify the left as the identitarian left, I would say it's extraordinarily good for something. And by analogy, it's like the Flat Earth Society. So I had John Sargent, I think it's John Sargent, came into my class virtually and gave his best arguments for why the Earth was flat. And I'm not joking about this. I'm actually, he genuinely believes the Earth is flat. And I had my students, I taught them how to politely ask questions. I taught them how to ask defeasibility questions. How could your belief be false? How to tease out certain contradictions, inferences in those beliefs. So the skill set and the attitude. And I think that strengthened their philosophical thinking. I think it strengthened, it helped them understand why certain principles should be adhered to for epistemological and moral reasons. I think that the identitarian left has given us a great gift. And the gift that they've given us is thoughtful, sane, calm, rational people with a basic epistemological or philosophical tool set should be able to work through these ideas and analyze them. Now, in an ideal world, those people would also come to the table and we would converse. Not necessarily debate, but converse. And that's the thing that's been with us in Socrates. Dialogue, discourse.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have that world. So we're left with those static, perhaps written arguments to look at those. And again, the only way to really make that work is you would need the left to kind of defend those ideas again. But they're unwilling to do that. They just put them out as these apodictic moral pronouncements. This is true. Believe this. You don't believe this. You're a racist. What is the Kafka trap that D'Angelo puts in? You're a racist. No, I'm not. That's proof of you're a racist. It's like what 12-year-old girls and boys do to themselves in the playground. It's so asinine. But yet, understanding such
I
a
know
simple
you are,
thing.
but what am I? That's what this is.
Yeah, I know.
It's as a philosophy. I know you are, but what am I as a philosophy?
Yeah. So there's no there, but what there is an opportunity to learn. There's, the other thing that's fascinating, John. So this is what I've been thinking about. I'm just talking to Reed about this. The biggest, without any question whatsoever, it makes Tuskegee look like chump change. The biggest medical scandal by far in history is the trans stuff. How did a small group of renegades, not even renegades, that makes them too, that props up their status artificially. How did a small group of ideologues capture every major Western medical institution? The whole thing. Surgery, standards of care, WPATH. How did they do this? This is fascinating. But fascinating, we're not Mr. Spock here, right? I mean, fascinating is one thing, but we have to have learned from that so we don't let it happen again. I mean, people, young girls, as young as 12 years old, I was just at an event with Billboard Chris, are still getting double mastectomies for non-medical reasons. How is this?
Yeah.
So in the same way, so you say, what is the left or I prefer the identitarian left. What do they have to teach us? Well, how do they do this? Let's learn from this. Let's make sure this doesn't happen again. And if there's something right about it, if they're correct in any of their assertions, particularly their assertions as it bleeds into public policy, then they should be able to defend those assertions. If not, then let them lose at the ballot box. Right? I remember Kamala Harris is famous. I will reveal my policy positions after I've been elected.
If you like this clip, you should check out the full video and all the other great content we've got at Dad Saves America. So be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that bell so you won't miss our new stuff as it drops each week.